Kayla has a question. She said, how mad are you that I didn't put a smiley face on your hot chocolate? I'm freaking pissed. Freaking pissed.
I'm freaking pissed.
Freaking pissed.
I'm pissed that I'm out of this.
Me too, dude. We finished this before the podcast started.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to podcast number, what was this, six?
Five,
six? I don't know.
You'll
Whatever
know.
this is. Today, we're talking about something that we've all gone through. Well, most of us.
All of us
have
as
gone
car
through.
guys have probably experienced this.
Yes, and we're looking to rustle some jimmies tonight.
We're gonna rustle some jimmies, or we're gonna talk about our rustled jimmies.
Our rustled jimmies.
My jimmies got rustled.
Your jimmy got rustled, mine got rustled, yours like barely got rustled.
He just messed up the jimmy a little bit.
He like snipped one hair and it's like, I almost got pissed off.
It's like,
but I'm not.
Shaved a little bit of the beard and just got a bald spot now.
Now you're a little pissed. me, I'm completely bald.
You're freaking pissed.
I'm bald at this point. If that's...
You're growing your hair back, but you're bald.
But I'm bald.
Because you just recently got bald.
So, we're talking about getting pulled over, maybe different like cop experiences,
Cop
stuff
interactions.
like that. Dealing with tickets.
Arrests.
Well, no, we've not gotten
Jail.
No jail.
Well, hopefully that doesn't happen for any of us.
Unless you are doing something that stupid. Alright.
Unless you're an idiot.
So, do you want to talk about your first time getting pulled over?
Let's talk about the first time getting pulled over. I can start because I've only been pulled over once. So,
he's just a rookie.
I don't have my car that often, so I can't get pulled over.
That's true. That's a good thing, I guess.
All of you should know that. Just don't have a car, you won't get pulled over.
Walk. Take Uber.
You might get pulled over if you're walking. You're walking or working.
You get hit.
So my first time, actually, funny enough, was after filming a video. We just finished the SRS exhaust install.
Funniest thing. We just installed
Just put the cat back on Jordan's car. If you haven't seen that video, we'll put it up at the top. This thing's freaking out, dude.
Just don't look at it.
Okay, yeah, just tilt it a little bit. Alright. So it was right after we filmed that. Did we go and pick up Maddie first?
Yeah, so we put an exhaust on my car. Your car already had an exhaust.
Obviously.
We were driving to... No, we picked up Maddie and her friend.
We picked them up, and...
Brad. Brad was there too.
And Brad was already there when we installed it. So he wanted to get some highway action just to hear exhaust at a higher speed. So he was zipping along. I honestly was kind of falling behind because I still wasn't getting on my car. This was on my first motor.
First motor and first ECU.
First motor, first ECU. Still kind of messed up. Still wasn't inspected.
I was flying in the highway. I was probably doing 100.
I wasn't... So, to give you some reference on my car, I wasn't registered or inspected yet, but I was insured. All I had for the car was insurance.
Well, you had a dealer plate, so that made it
I had the dealer plate from the guy I bought it from.
Yeah.
So, going on the highway, we weren't on that long, zipping along. We get off at one of the exits where you come off, you go under a bridge, and you just kind of go straight down for a little while. And I think we actually made it a good little ways after getting off before I looked in my rearview mirror and I see this Ford Explorer.
No, so I saw the cop first. You didn't. I don't think
you saw it. How do you know?
Because I saw the lights, and then he was cruising diagonal from.
You don't know that? You were in a different car.
I was in front, then you were behind, and he was like diagonal from us, and I was looking back and I was like, oh, those are cop lights up there.
I saw him like just before that. Like I saw kind of this car coming up, and I was like, you know, just late at night. It was also like midnight too. You know, late at night, whenever you see lights behind you, you're always just kind of like, ooh, what is that?
Especially when it's just me and you on the road.
Yeah.
It's weird.
So, we kept both looking back. I'm assuming you were constantly looking back. He was in front of me, I was behind him. And cops kind of like diagonal with us, almost getting like up next to me. Just checking us both out. Obviously, I'm in my car, so big wing, exhaust. I'm in 5th gear doing 40 miles an hour. So it's just like real low.
Yeah, we were doing the speed limit. I remember that we were at that.
Yeah,
at that time.
We were. And he starts to back off. I'm like, all right, maybe we're in the clear. Gets behind me, lights come on. I'm like, sick, dude, sick. And so I pulled over. Luckily, I had Brad in the car, which I guess Brad's doing knowledgeable stuff with cop stuff.
Yeah,
wants to be a cop or something. Come on, Brad, why do you want to be a cop? That's not cool, man.
Well, then he could write us our stuff off.
No. Brad read us off. So Brad gave me the whole rundown. He said, turn the car off, put the lights on, wait for the guy to come over, and then we'll get the stuff out, all that. So we did all that. It looked like he actually had someone with him, like a ride-along person, so maybe he was like, oh, watch this, easy ticket, little ricer. We'll get this guy. We'll get him. So I'm dragging this out too much. So pulls me over, comes over, was pulling me over for my exhaust. Too loud. I'm like, really though? Really?
That loud.
I was like, oh, okay. Like, and the way he said it too was really funny. He's like, obviously, you know, I'm pulling you over for your exhaust, right? And I'm like, I guess so. Like, okay. And I hand him all the stuff, and he's like, license, registration. I'm like, oh, it's not registered yet. I'm driving it to, like, get these codes to clear so it'll pass. And he was kind of cool about that. Give him my insurance card and my license.
Well, he should know that when he saw the deal, but you don't have to have registration or insurance.
Must have been a noob. Goes back to his car. Felt like he took a year, but I think that's just how it always feels. He comes back, and this is where he did the most jerk move, where me and Brad both are really confused. He walks up, says, as he's saying, like, you're all good, he has his hand through the window, drops my insurance and license, and didn't even hand it to me, just drops it in my lap.
Are you serious?
Away. Yeah. He's like, you're all good. Just drops it in and walks away.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he was pissed.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
He was pissed that he couldn't give you a ticket.
Yeah, and Brad was like, what the heck was that? Because obviously Brad knows things.
Wow.
And we're both literally sitting there, and I literally actually put my hand out the window. I'm like, all good? Like, I was, like, so confused. Because he just walked away.
Oh, he didn't say anything after that?
As he's saying it and dropping it, he turned around and walked away. I didn't get to say anything to him. Like, okay, thanks, or like, just keep it low speed. I don't know. Didn't say anything else.
Well, we weren't speeding, so.
I know. Just, you know, you'd expect something else. And he just goes back to his car.
Didn't he ask you something about me, though? Like, oh, that was your buddy ahead?
Yeah, that was when he first walked up. He said, were you cruising with the other car? And I was like, yeah, we were just driving back home together. And he's like, all right.
Oh, and then during this, I guess my side of it is like, I saw you get pulled over. I'm like, crap, I'm gonna pull over into this neighborhood and like wait for you to pass by. And it was actually really funny because we were sitting there in the car with the two girls, and I was like, dang, man, he's gonna get a ticket, blah blah. I wasn't thinking that you had a dealer plate. I'm like, dang, we literally just put on my exhaust, and now he's getting pulled over for that. But we were waiting there, and it was actually really savage because when I heard you start up your car, you were still like half a mile down the road, and I was like, oh, I hear him, he's good, he's not arrested. So that was my side of it. It was kind of funny. Yeah,
and then we met up at the gas station and talked about what happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really odd, and I still felt odd even just turning the car on because I'm like, oh, what do I do? Like, you already said something about the exhaust, and I'm turning it on. It's still as loud as it was.
I literally launch it, and then he couldn't do anything.
just drove off, and that was the end of that.
Yeah. Well,
great time.
Pulled over number 1. So my first time was actually even before that time, before either of us had our cars.
Oh, also, just to give some time reference, I think I was 18.
Yeah. Because, well, you've only had the car for a little over a year now.
Yeah, it was also almost right after I got it, so just about 18.
So then I was 16.
You were 16.
This is 4 years ago.
On the permit,
and
right?
I was on my permit. I had my grandfather and my brother in the back seat of my parents' 96 Mercedes E320, which was it was a sick car, but
it was fun.
I wanted to do stuff to it, but we never got the chance.
When I first met Jordan, he was driving that car.
Yeah. So driving home, I was driving home from church, man, and it was a Wednesday night church. So I was driving home. I remember the time was exactly 9:03. 9:03, and. Wow. And there's, first the backstory with the car. Anytime you got maybe, I don't know, 30% or more throttle on it, it would misfire because whatever was going on back then, it would just misfire all the time. So you'd have to turn off the car, turn it back on, and then it'd be good to go. And at the same time, our brakes were wearing down to metal on metal, so we technically had no brakes.
Wow.
So we're approaching a light or an intersection, and the light turns yellow, and I'm like, well, crap, I can't floor it or even give it a little bit more gas to get through the intersection to make it, and I can't get on the brakes because there is no brakes. And so we're going, I'm like, all right, I think I can make this yellow light with just coasting at what I'm doing right now. So we go through, the light is yellow up until the light, I could see it switch to red right at the top of the glass, like right at the top where
as you're going through.
Yeah, so it turned red like as I'm under the other side of the intersection, and
Oh, like the second light? So like...
Yeah. So like the one that you see is actually on the other side of the intersection.
Alright, so you made it through.
Yeah, I was already through as it was turning red. The second half of the car was going through. So then the guy pulls me over, and he was like, "Oh, you know why I'm pulling you over?" And I was guessing obviously the red light, but I was like, but I'd said no, not really. And then he was like, "Oh, I saw you go through the red light back there," and I was respectful, but I was like, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was yellow the whole time." And I told him the situation with the car, that it's having issues and stuff like that, and basically he didn't really care. He was like, "Oh, well, you got to get that fixed." And I'm like, "Oh, well, it's not my car." So gave him all the information and stuff, and then he came back, gave me a ticket when I was 16 on my permit for something that actually didn't happen, blaming it that I ran the red light on purpose, and also told me that I couldn't have my brother in the back. Sorry, stop recording. He also told me that I couldn't have my brother in the back seat when I was on my permit, which is kind of a lie, because you can't have more than 2 or whatever people in the car, but I believe family members, it doesn't matter.
Isn't it when you have an adult?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
I had Gramps. He's yeah.
You have to have a licensed driver in the car, and then you can have other people.
Yeah. So that was the first time I went to court and fought that and got it dropped to a parking ticket, so we're all good with that. And then the second time was earlier this year in March, when we went down to Atlanta for the Import Alliance meet.
Which actually, we were going to make a video on that. We never got around to it.
Yeah, maybe we still will. Funny one. Well, now we have like more situations to do.
Yeah.
So I got Atlanta over down there.
So let's give them a little bit of a outline here. So obviously, if you've seen the Atlanta videos, it was after the show was over. We'd already been there for what, 3 days?
2.
Well, like traveled down 2 days. We were in Atlanta 2 days, right?
It was the last night that we were there.
It was after the second day of IA. I think, were we coming back from that David meet?
No. We were at my aunt's house, going to my other aunt's house.
We were just out in city of Atlanta, coming back from having dinner.
Yeah.
STI and WX.
Yeah, so it was only me and Adam driving. You were riding with Adam, I was by myself. And we're cruising on a 6-lane highway. And the speed limit is 55, and if any of you know how Atlanta traffic is, well, actually this time it wasn't traffic, but if you know how Atlanta drivers are,
it's quick.
Everyone loves to drive like they're like in NASCAR or something. So we're all flying, we're all doing
what, probably
80, 85, which is really, that's honestly normal.
For a 6-lane, it didn't feel
especially at 10 o'clock at night. There's no traffic, so everyone's just kind of flowing.
I can give like my perspective also from we'll go back. Yeah.
So we're cruising. I was doing 76, and Adam and another car were all passing me as the cop is sitting at the bottom of this little hill on the highway.
So
and lasered me.
Yeah. So what I remember from it is we were kind of coming around a bend, I think, and in Adam's car, he was trying to get his car to pop, so he kept doing like, would drop a gear, like speed up and shift, and usually during the shift it would pop. He was trying to get it to happen. We were doing that multiple times as we're coming around this bend, passing other cars, and after we get around the bend, we see this cop, and that's where Jordan was, actually 2 or 3 lanes away from us.
I was 2 lanes across from you,
and that's when we saw it. We were like, oh crap, and you probably were like, same thing.
So the guess is the cop heard Adam, couldn't see him because he was coming up passing me at the time.
Also like on like inside in a way, covered by the other cars.
So he thought he heard me because I was the only like sportier car that he could see at the time until Adam actually passed me. But so he pulls me over, and I'm like, all right, maybe I can get away with this because I'll tell him I'm from out of town, and I was just trying to keep with the flow of traffic, which was true because I'm actually the slowest one on the highway at that time. And
yeah, everyone was passing you.
Yeah, so he pulls me over. I thought I was gonna get out of it once he saw the New York plate. And then he didn't really care. I was like, yeah, I'm from out of town. I mean, I kind of lied to him a little bit. I told him, like, yeah, I'm from out of town, even though I grew up there and I know everywhere. So I was like, yeah, I'm from out of town. Just trying to keep with the flow of traffic. And, yeah, just trying to keep with the flow of traffic. Didn't mean it. So then he didn't really care, gave me the ticket again. Second ticket for just a stupid reason. Actually, that was my final essay for English class last semester. I wrote a paper about pointless speeding tickets. And actually, like the argument was if you were to be driving at the actual speed limit when everyone else is flying past you, like keeping with the flow of traffic, then it's actually more dangerous because you're basically an obstacle in the way of everyone else just trying to
you don't want to obstruct the flow.
85th percentile, brother.
Dude, 85th.
That's what it's called.
That's how they judge the speed rating.
Yeah. So I got that ticket. I obviously couldn't just fly back to Atlanta just to go fight it and then come back again. So I paid that one off.
And like for us, what we did, we saw him getting pulled over, and like the thing is, we can't really do much because we were already past Jordan and we're on the farther lane. So we thought about pulling over with him kind of, but we would have been way down the road. And we were on that kind of highway that turns into a road. If you've ever been to Atlanta, you probably know what we're talking about. So we went down, and I think we pulled over at, what is it, Kroger? What's
Publix?
Is there Publix down there?
Yeah.
Yeah, we pulled over at a Publix and actually got some flowers for his uncle and aunt who were letting us stay at their house as a little thank you gift, and waited there until this guy showed up.
Yeah.
Where did we meet you, actually? Did we meet you there?
Yeah, we met at Publix and then we went back. Yeah. So that was that time.
What's up with I don't know if there's a reason for this, you being an Atlantean. Why are the cop lights just blue and white?
I don't know.
Because that was one thing I thought was kind of interesting. Because when I look back and I see the lights come on, I'm like, oh, blue and white. I don't know. It's just I'm used to red and blue.
Yeah, no, they have blue and white. I don't know.
No reason. Not that you know of.
Not that I know of.
If anyone knows, leave it in the comments below. I'm curious. I want to know.
It's just preference.
Let me know.
Maybe to differentiate like cops versus like just fire trucks and ambulance would be red. And then
maybe then like caution cars or like big rigs yellow.
Yeah. So that's the second time, which was also, in my opinion, and all of our opinions, kind of pointless.
Yeah, I think he could have let it go.
Yeah. I mean, give me one, dude.
And it wasn't late, but it was like it was darker out. Like I don't know.
So
whatever.
That's the second time. Third time was just this past week, where me and Ryan were cruising home from our shop. And
it was about, I remember on your ticket it said 12:06 was the time. So it was again past midnight.
Yep.
Going through the little village kind of there.
Yeah, so the speed limit, if you guys haven't seen the previous video, we actually described the whole thing. Cruising, there's a 55-mile-per-hour speed limit, and it immediately goes right down to a 30. So I'm approaching the 30-mile-an-hour speed limit sign, and as I pass it, I'm slowing down to get to the 30. And the cop was sitting in the 55 zone, clocking me in. And
laser.
Yeah.
It's laser.
No, radar.
No, it said on your ticket it says laser.
This says radar.
What do you mean?
Yeah, it says radar.
It says laser on there.
No, it's radar.
What do you mean?
It says the radar, it says it's tool user, it was like radar, blah, blah, blah. And then we looked up.
It says laser radar.
Yeah, but radar.
We'll fight about this later. It was a laser.
Anyways, he gets me, and as we're passing 30-mile-per-hour zone, I'm slowing down. I see a white car pull out, like 2 cars back.
And from my perspective, in the car, I didn't even know if we were bumping some music, having a good time. Obviously, just because I'm a car guy, it's like, even if we were going fast, it's like, it didn't feel like, oh, this is too fast for this area. You know, you're just kind of cruising along. Yeah. And those roads are kind of a little wide, too.
They're back roads in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. So you're going to be flying more. So as we're going up the hill that leads up into the village, I specifically remember looking down, just checking my speed limit as I'm coming down. Last speed limit I saw before he pulled me over was 35, 36-ish.
So only 5 over, which
yeah, so like when he was pulling me over, I'm like, what is he doing? Like, I'm actually slowing down to the speed limit, like 5 over, really? So pulls me over and he's like, oh, you know how much I caught you doing? And I'm like, well, I remember I was just doing like 35, 36, like once I got to this zone. He's like, yeah, I got you doing 56. I'm like, well, probably because you were sitting in the zone
55
before that, so that would make sense. Like, you can't just say that it was a different area than what you actually were. So the whole time that he pulled us over, me and you both thought that, oh, this cop's cool, he's gonna let us go.
Yeah, because he was like, what are you guys doing? Like, where are you coming from? Right, we have a shop just down the road. He's like, oh, what do you guys do there? We work on cars. Oh, what's up with the camera? Because I was holding the camera, not making it obvious that I was filming.
So I was like, yo, just film this just in case.
And we're like, oh, we got a channel. We film the stuff we do at the shop working on the cars. He's like, oh, that's cool. Oh, I'm just going to go run this. I think he said something like that, and I'll be right back. So we're like, not really too worried about it because
I thought he was a cool guy.
Late at night, just kind of like checked us out. We're not doing anything weird. We're not drunk or doing anything like stupid.
Yeah,
like
pretty much he probably only just pulled us over just because of the car. Because I remember there was one car behind us too, so like
imagine if you're really a cop just chilling there and you're not normally, if you're not paying attention or you're on your computer, I don't know what cops do, but and then you hear just like you hear that go by, that's gonna raise your head up.
It always sounds like you're going faster than you actually are too.
And it's like that's the thing for us car guys, having an exhaust that catches their attention more. They're gonna hear that, gonna look up, they're gonna be, oh, he was definitely going way too fast, and they pull you over.
Did I ever tell you about that one guy who I was doing the exact speed limit as I'm taking that corner, and then he's like, slow down. I'm like, what do you mean I'm doing the speed limit? And then I like dropped a gear and I just floored it. So I was like, now I'm not doing the speed limit.
So he went and ran the papers and came back.
And then he was like, all right, man, just make sure you're keeping the speed limit tonight. I'm like, oh, sick, he didn't give me a ticket.
Yeah,
he was like, all right, have a good night, and like gave me a ticket. I'm like, are you freaking serious?
Was it also then when he was like, have you had a ticket before? Or have you know where to go for this? Like,
that was before. He's like, have you had a ticket before and stuff like that?
Yeah.
And then when he came back, he said about the location and stuff, which was
he was
really
like,
pointless,
just make sure you guys keep it slow and all that. And I honestly thought we were getting off because he's like telling us just to like slow down and take it easy.
All right, fine.
It's like cool. And he's like, all right, well, here you go. Here's the ticket. You know where the court is around here? And we're like, yeah, I'll figure it out.
Have a great night. And then this most savage thing. He's like, as he's walking away, he's like, all right, just keep to the speed limit or whatever. And I was thinking that he's about to say, all right, have a good night, because that's like the last thing you say. And I go, yeah, you too. And so he's like, yeah, just keep it to the speed limit. I was like, yeah, you too. And I was like, oh crap. You remember that? I actually said, I was like, oh crap.
Because I figured it'd be like, have a good night. Yeah, you too. But keep to the speed limit. Yeah, you too, man. Why don't you keep it, slow it down.
Hey.
So that's our stories.
Do we have anything else? I mean, Adam's gotten pulled over a lot, but he's gotten let go like a lot.
Yeah, we were gonna have Adam here.
His car is so much louder than mine,
and I feel like it's almost more obnoxious.
Yes,
he has a big wing. It's white. It's got the STI wing. It's super loud.
I don't do anything.
It's aggressive looking. Maybe they don't notice that, but we do. Yeah. It's like, and he drives like whoop.
Yeah, like he gets on it more than I do. I'm just trying to drive home.
He's got Sport Sharp. More boost.
So, anyways.
I think we can talk about like cop encounters though. So like when we first started Wicked Street Media, you know, the intro we did down in that parking garage, cop interactions we had there were just we forgot our nice car today, so this is gonna keep stopping recording. My bad, or his bad. You forgot it. So it was just our local village cops, and it seems like every time we're down there filming a video in this like garage under the library, they always pull up in their area, what's going on down here, like, you guys, they asked once if we were like shooting a commercial, if we were like, what, doing burnouts or don't do any burnouts. And Jordan thought he was funny. He's like, our cars are all-wheel drive, we can't do it. I literally
said that. I was like, our cars are all-wheel drive, we can't do burnouts. And he's like,
and then he's like, he got out of the car, he pointed his gun at Jordan, he was like, drop the car.
I didn't say that.
He should have though.
I've been waiting a long time to say that to someone, and it was a cop, so that was kind of funny.
Yeah, you're such a jerk.
Yeah. No, I was like serious. I'm like,
they were actually funny though. They were cool. They were like, oh, well, good luck with that, and like they've always been chill about it.
Yeah. Well, village cops normally are like really chill, and they don't.
Because they just do village stuff.
They don't do anything. Peace. So yeah.
That's it. Let us know about your encounters with cops if you have any cool, crazy stories.
No, wait, you forgot the one cop story about the fire picture.
Ah, yo! Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
I'll let you tell that one.
I don't know if I have the picture still. If I can, I'll insert it in the lower.
I got it.
Lower third, or if you got it.
I got it. Just start telling the story.
We'll insert it because you have it. You can give it to me. So we'll have it on the screen here. When we were taking that picture, it's down at this like little park. It's like right near the entrance of this park. We obviously parked Adam's car there. We were doing a bunch of light painting before. This was, I think it was the last shot we took.
One of the last ones.
Yeah, one of the last ones. We had a couple pieces of paper that we lit on fire and did light painting with that. If you don't know what light painting is, you're taking pictures, you have the exposure really long so it catches all the light and illuminates the car with whatever you're using. So it looks really cool. And before we started any of the pictures, this is the funniest part. So Adam and Jordan are like getting ready to roll down there, and this guy with a Prius comes up, and he was like, "Oh, what are you guys doing?" We're like, "Oh, we're gonna take some pictures down here." And we were actually getting stuff out of his trunk, like all the camera gear. And he was like, "Oh, is that really what his license plate says?" And we're like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Wicked STI, really?" And we're like, "Yeah, it's an STI. It's pretty wicked." Like, what do you mean? That was, I don't know, that was hilarious. And then he drove through, and I think he lives back in this park. So I'm thinking he's the one that called the cops, because he probably thought we were doing a drug deal, because we were getting all the camera gear out of his trunk.
Out of my trunk, yeah.
Yeah. So set up the picture, got all the shots, did the fire picture that you see right here. And then shortly after that, we see 2 cars roll up, and I think one of them was a Charger, right? Mm-hmm. And then one of them was like Explorer, something like SUV.
Doesn't matter.
And this cop walks down while we're like just having all our camera gear. And what was he saying? Like, "Well, what are you guys doing down here?" or something like that.
He's like, "Yeah, you guys taking pictures down here. Someone called us just because I guess we were disturbing the peace and waiting to do anything." Because
he was like, "What are you guys doing?" We're like, "Oh, we're just taking some pictures." And I think he asked, I'm not sure if this is how he said it, but he's like, "Oh, do you have any proof that that's what you were doing?"
Yeah.
And we're like, "Yeah, like we can show you some," and we're showing him some of the light painting ones. And I go to Jordan. I was like, "Yo, show him the fire one." And he's like, "The fire one, huh?" And then we go to, and he's like, "Oh, that's pretty sweet."
He was in. He's like,
he loved it.
How did you?
And he called his buddy over from the SUV. He's like, "Yo, dude, come check this out."
And then we were like showing him through the pictures, and then he's like, "Yo, wait, go back to the fire one. That was sick." Like,
that was cool.
Here you go, bud.
And then he's like, cool. "All right, well, someone just said a complaint. We have to ask you guys to leave." Like. And then we're like, "All right, no problem." He's like, "Well, have a good night. Just like, we'll let you pack up and get out of here." And they were cool about it.
That's a cool cop experience.
Yeah. We got kicked out, you know, but it was cool.
So yeah,
I think that's it.
I think that's it.
So back to what I was saying.
Back to what you were
saying. If you guys have any cool, outrageous, cool.
Outrageous, cool.
You got any cool cop stories? Cool with a K, K-E-W-L. Yeah, cool. Leave them down below, and we'll maybe respond what we think of that, because it's always funny to hear what other people encounter. All the social media on the bottom of the screen right here. Check it all out so you can stay up to date, and you can be involved in the questions and answers that we do sometimes when we post about that.
Yeah, so stay tuned for our next video, because our next little podcast thing is actually Q&A with you guys. So you guys get the chance to get us to answer some of the questions you guys have, because questions matter.
Yeah, if you guys were, oh my gosh, load please. If you were following us on an Instagram or Snapchat, you would have seen one of these posts. I don't know if you can see that, one of these posts saying to ask questions, and that'll be the next podcast. So stay up to date on this stuff so that you can ask us questions when we do this stuff.
Alright.
If you have questions.
We'll see you guys in the next one.
Thank you guys for watching. Peace. We don't smack the camera. Not for this. It just closes out. No. You don't need to do that.
Oh.
You just sit down. Oh, sit down. See you next time. Peace.
Oh.